I want to shift that. I know this is something you've really talked a lot about, and that is the trans issue. Chloe Cole has filed a lawsuit against the people that were responsible for giving her as a child this horrific counsel and
Kaiser Permanente, the health system out in California.
Yeah. Talk to me about how dangerous is, for example, I had a guest on in the first hour. We talked about the California law. In your professional opinion, how dangerous is that California law?
Is that the sanctuary state law?
Yes.
Well, it's legalized kidnapping. For instance, you used to be able to, I would imagine still now, if you harbor a runaway, so you have a teenage kid and his or her schoolmate is run away. Let's say they climb into, they've snuck, so your kid snuck his or her friend into their bedroom, you awaken, you find out, so let's say it's just, you have a daughter and her friend ran away and you awaken to your daughter and her friend and they've spent the night.
Right.
What are you supposed to do? You'd better get in touch with the parents, or you'd better find out, because if you find out that this is a runaway, you could be charged with harboring a runaway and potentially kidnap it. You can be charged with all sorts of things. Okay. But suddenly in California, it is now legal if that child runs away. Now, why is the child going to run away? May or may not be something happening at home, but how about that they've been online? They've been on these different sites that have begun to capture their minds and their emotions, just like cults will. Really, so they're being groomed.
Yeah.
So you have this child that has a secret life going on. You've got a perp, financial or medical or sexual perpetrator, typically a sexual perpetrator, that's going to begin to have a secret relationship, just like in California and other states now. The schools don't have to tell you if your child is, quote unquote, transitioning. So all things being equal, let's say this grooming is taking place, the kid becomes disgruntled, and the perpetrator is saying, you know what, I really think you're trans as well, so come with me. You don't have to stay under those rules. Your parents don't understand you, so they do the divide and conquer. And as a matter of fact, if you want to transition, we can help you do that safely. So obviously that had been a year in the making, 2 years in the making. And so they can arrange to pick that kid up, arrange a drop-off place. The kid gets in the car, and now somebody over the age of 16 who has a driver's license, who probably is over the age of 18, probably an adult, who probably has their own credit card and financial means to pay for gas, picks the kid up and drives them across state lines. And as soon as they pass the sign that says, "Welcome to California," the parents can't get the kid back. You now can harbor this kid and arrange for them to go to Kaiser Permanente and get their breasts removed. And the parents can't do a darn thing about it. This is legalized kidnapping. It is a predator's perfect law. And it makes sense. It's Scott Wiener, interesting last name, comes out of San Francisco near Nancy Pelosi's district. It's the same one that pushed the law where in California, if you're a 24-year-old man, a gay perpetrator, a gay predator, think about the age of 24, that's beyond college. You can find a 15-year-old, what age is that, freshman? And you can do anal, you can sodomize him, you can anally rape him, and you will not be put on the registry, by the way. You can take a plea deal and never end up with a sex offense. So that kind of age gap now is legal in California. So all these things tend to go together. It's the perfect Predator Protection Act. That's what these things need to be called.
And you have a place to take them and hide.
Correct.
Practically, for all intensive purposes, you're hiding in plain sight, and no one is able to stop you. I mean, there's nobody's able to really step up and do anything about it, because if somebody says something about it, you have the full force defense of the law.
Right. North Carolina, the legislature overrode the veto of the governor. So now North Carolina is a protective state when it comes to this diabolical medical treatment. They want to call it affirming care. Now, what does affirming care mean? And all parents need to understand this. Okay, the trans movement is the world's most dangerous thing as far as targeting kids. They mean business, literally. They are very serious, those that are pushing this. And parents need to understand that the trans movement is a moving sidewalk. That once a kid enters that moving sidewalk at whatever point, whether social transitioning, if your child is already starting to reference pronouns, you have a problem on your hands. You better act quickly. You better act soon. Meaning somebody's coaching this kid. Somebody is grooming your child. The further into this stuff they get, the social transitioning, where they're starting to cross-dress, your child is being sucked into a system that is designed to incrementally take them further and further, and your child will eventually want puberty blockers if they're young. That's usually what the parents are doing. Or opposite sex, wrong sex, cross-sex hormones. That's going to screw them up, including, here's what's guaranteed. Your child will be sterilized very quickly on these medications, on these cross-sex hormones. Right. Parents, you will no longer be grandparents of that child, meaning that child will never produce grandchildren for you. I want you to know that. Then the next step is somebody's going to arrange to have your child have their sex organs chopped off. That's
folks,
the trans movement.
Yeah, that, you know, again, if you're a parent and you're facing this, and you're beginning to see these signs, and you're pulling your house saying, what in the world do I do? Go to SurvivorSupport.net. Go to churchproject.org. There are a ton.
Churchprotect.org.
Sorry, yeah, I misread it. I've got it on. It's written right on the screen.
Oh, that's
Church,
okay. Yeah.
Churchprotect.org. Go to these organizations. There are places there, and I'm going to have to jump here because my India people are going to be waiting on me. But folks, there are tools that are available to you at these websites: SurvivorSupport.net, churchprotect.org.
Unmasking the trans movement.com. That'll be the most important one. We're here to unmask the trans movement. So unmasking the trans movement.com. We have a lot of podcasts.
All right. I've got to jump. I've got people that are waiting on me in India for a beautiful service that's going to happen there momentarily. Jon, great. Thanks for being with me today. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for continuing to talk about this important topic and this issue. And, you know, we'll pray that the truth comes out on this whole Wander situation, Wander Franco. And you know, because I would hate to think that it is someone that is making up a story that potentially could destroy a young man's life. Right. Those are serious consequences, and I hope that that's not the case. Take care, my friend. Nice to see you.
It's always good.